So you may don't even know, but people are making thousands of dollars by building and selling APIs. So in today's video, I will introduce a free way of making online passive income. I'm gonna show you the step-by-step process of creating a Flask API, and at the end of this tutorial, you'll be able to offer different subscription plans on RapidAPI website. This website allows you to sell the access to your API and let people use the data you are providing. The only prerequisites that you'll need is a basic understanding of Python programming language. Although we'll not write much code and you'll have the access and permission to use my code. So you just need to watch this video to the end and change the code based on what you need. Now let's take a look at what are the main packages and concepts for this project. As an introduction, APIs are application programming interfaces that enable different technologies to speak with each other. They can connect things to the internet. For instance, your car or TV can communicate to the internet using APIs. APIs use HTTP request methods such as get, post, delete, and put. So when you enter a website, let's say Amazon gets the data from their servers using APIs and shows them in their website. For using APIs, we define different endpoints. These endpoints return various types of data for each specific request. We'll build this project using Flask web framework and use requests library to set up our API. At the end, we'll push the code to Heroku and connect it to RapidAPI. You may have questions about this project and I'm here to answer them all, so feel free to ask your questions in the comments section. In our API, users will be able to query for book details and book reviews. They will make a GET request to our API ISBN route, and our API will return a JSON response containing the book's data. Alright, now let's sign up for RapidAPI. As you can see, I'm in the RapidAPI sign up page. I'm just gonna sign up with Google and choose one of my accounts. Okay, there we have it. Okay, let's leave it here. We can just create the API right here, but let's first head up to Heroku and sign up for that. In the Heroku sign up page, we need to fill out the information. So your first name, last name, your email address, your company, you can just leave it in A. The role that you have, it's a professional developer. Country of origin, mine is Canada, and the primary language is Python. And at the end, you just need to state that you are not bot and create. So you'll need to check your email and confirm your email, and that's it, and you can access your account. Here you just need to create a new app and name it, for example, Book API, and just give it a number so that it became available, and choose your region and create your app. Next, we should head on to Overview tab, click on Configure Add-ons, and search for Heroku HostGRES, this one. Click on it, and we just need the free plan, so submit the order form. This is a database that provides 10,000 rows for free, and you can just use this one for now. And if you just click on it, you can see the credentials, and you can use these credentials to connect to your database. In the settings tab, the credentials. Here are the credentials that you can use. If you want to see what's inside your database, you can use a website called adminer.cs50.net. I'm just gonna fill out the credentials in the respective fields and go inside the database and create the rows and tables for this project. Okay, I entered my credentials. I'm just gonna log into the database. And also you can see that there is nothing in this database, so I need to create a table for this database. I'm gonna call it books for now, and for the first column I just gonna create the ID. Type is integer and it's gonna be auto increment. The second one is ISBN, and this one is a text. The third one is title, and this one is also a text. The last one is author, and this one is also text. And also I'm gonna just have one for year, and this one is gonna be an integer. So this is it. I'm just gonna save the database. These are my columns, and if you wanted to see what's inside these columns, we just need to click on books, and you can see there's nothing in it. I should enter the data, and I'm going to show you how to import the data in this database using Python. Okay, now let's head to PyCharm. I'm going to use PyCharm as my editor. So in here we just need to first install the requirements, and in this project we are going to use Flask session, psy cop g2 binary, SQL alchemy, and requests. And the last one is unicorn. This one is for connecting to the Heroku and using their servers. And Flask is just a Flask framework. And the request is just for requesting and getting data from other APIs, or like putting data, this sort of thing. SQL alchemy is gonna be used for working with database and inserting data into my database. And for running these requirements, you just need to type pip3 and install -r requirements.txt. Okay, I just missed an E here. Yeah, this will install the requirements for us, and we just need to wait until these are installed. Okay, those are all installed. So now I'm just gonna import my data to my database. For that, I first need to just set up my environments, and you don't need to write this code. I provided the GitHub link in the description. You can download the whole project and just run the code and see the results in your database. First thing that you should do is to set your environment variables. So first I will set Flask app. My Flask app is gonna be application.py. This is a Python file that I have in my project, this one, and I'm gonna use that as my Flask app. Next one is set Flask debug to 1. I just want to see the changes in my project. This is why I'm setting the Flask debug to 1. The next thing that I need to set is my database. So I need my database URL. This is from my credentials. You just need to copy that credentials in here, and it will set the database URL for us. So I just need to come here, copy this URL, go back to here, paste it, and here it is. So I will explain this code and what's going on in this import.py file. First, we need to read the data that we have from our CSV file. It is a CSV file containing our book ISBN, book title, author, and year of publication. And the SQL Alchemy, as I said, is gonna be used for our database and just inserting data into our database, or if you wanted to use it, you can just use it for reading data from database and selecting, deleting, everything. The next thing is just it's gonna get our environment variables. Here it will read the database URL that we just entered. For some reason it needs to be PostgreSQL in our database. As you can see, the first thing that we have in our database URL is PostgreS. This one is not supported anymore. You should have SQL at the end. So we just change that here, and then we inserted that in our engine. Next, we need to create our database and bind it with our engine. The final part of this code is the main function. You just need to read the books.csv file, put it inside the variable called reader, and go inside the loop. And in that loop, we just need to insert data to our database and commit changes. And this is it. If you will run this code by Python import.py, you will see that our data is gonna be inserted, as we can see here. You can see that it is printing. Like here, I added book title. Each of these titles are gonna be inserted to our database. And after some time, I'm gonna show you the final result in our database. Okay, the code finished running. So if we head to the adminer, we can see the data. Here that is. And you can see we have all our data imported to our database. Okay, now let's head back to our application.py file. So in this file, we just need to import some of the packages that we need. One of them is Flask, render template, JSONify, session, and the packages related to SQL Alchemy. We create our app and with Flask. Then we just read the database URL as before and config our session parent as false and session type as file system. Then we add the application to our session. Next, we just need to read the database URL as before, and if there is some like mistakes in our URL, we just need to add the SQL at the end. And when the URL is changed, we are gonna print URI changed. Next, we just need to define our route. This is the main route we are gonna use. It will render template index.html file. So in our index.html, we have just a file that is containing HTML tags and the base file. So the base file is gonna use the Balma CSS package. This is just a package for making the website look nicer. And the index.html just is the title and some text in it. This is nothing serious. These files are in the templates folder and you can add them. You actually can create a website and use Flask for showing your detailed explanation about your API too. So if you want it, you can do that too. Next, we're gonna define the route for our API ISBN. So this means that after API, anything that you got is an ISBN. So then we are going to pass that to our function, book API function, and select from our book database those that have the ISBN same as the ISBN entered into our API, and we commit the changes. And if there is nothing in our database with that ISBN, we just gonna print an error and we say that it's not found, and JSONify will turn it into a JSON format and print it out to our browser. And at the end, if there is a book with that ISBN, we will print the details of that book, and this one should be here. And that's it. If we run our application with Flask run, we can see the final result. Okay, we have our database set up, we have our application set up, and if you click on this URL, we will see our website. This is it. So this is just UI that I created for our book API. You can insert your explanation about your API, everything that you think is important and how to use your API can be here. And it's nothing important. I think it's just an extra thing that you can add. And if you go to API and some ISBN, as like this one in our browser, we can see the detail for that book. Here it is, the year, title, and author. Of course, this is not something that you can make money off. You should be able to think about an idea. For example, you can scrap all the data of climate change or cryptocurrencies in the news letters or in the websites that publish blogs about cryptocurrencies or climate change, and gather data, insert it into your database. This method is called web scraping, and you can use it for gathering data and like providing this data to people to buy. And this one is just for an example. This is a book API. Also, I'm using an extension, Google Chrome extension called JSON Viewer. It makes the JSON format to look nicer in your browser. And you can just download it from Chrome extensions. Now we just need to deploy our API to Heroku and then to RapidAPI. For deploying the project to Heroku, we need a file called procfile. In here, we use Gunicorn to say that we have this application.py file and the name should match as our app. And Heroku should consider giving us a server in their side. So this is what it does. Now we can go to Heroku, and in here in the deploy tab, we just need to use these commands in our terminal and deploy our project. So we use Heroku login. I'm just gonna copy them. It will prompt us a login page. You just need to press any key. Here it is. We need to just log in. It's logged in, and we go back to our Heroku. In here, we should create a Git repository. So you should just cd to your project and write Git in it. Okay. And then you need to copy Heroku git remote -a book API 2. This is it. So now you just add your files to Git. This will take a while, so just wait for it. After adding the files, we just need to copy the other codes. We should commit our changes. You can just call this one commit one. Oh. Then we need to copy the last part and push the code to Heroku. Okay, we just need to wait for this to finish. Okay, now we have our project in the Heroku, and when the deployment is finished, it will give us the link, and if we click on it, we can see our project on Heroku. As you can see, the URL is matching to our API that we entered in the Heroku. And the last part is to set up our RapidAPI. Okay, now it's time to actually create our API on RapidAPI. We just need to give it a name, for example, book detail, and the description will be like something like, this API will return details of books based on their ISBN. The category will be media or like data, something like that, and we just need to leave it as UI and add API. Okay, here we just need to provide a longer description, and I'm just gonna copy this, and you can just write something better in the future. I'm just gonna like write, for instance, title, author, year of publication. Okay, I uploaded my YouTube channel logo here. You should provide the URL to our API, so I'm just gonna copy this URL here, and we just specify the media. And term of use, we don't have any terms of use. Here it is, we have it now. Now we just need to add a base URL. Here I'm just gonna configure the default one. The default one is as the last one that we entered here. This is the default one. We need to just add endpoints. So for our endpoints, we just need to create REST endpoint, name it something like ISBN. The description something like, this will return the details of books. And for the external link, we just leave it blank. And for get, we write API slash something like ISBN, as it says. Here it is. And for test values, we can just enter the test ISBN that I entered here. It will be on a string, and as you can see, it will provide us with some examples, and we can choose Python and requests. For example, as you can see, it will print our API and some ISBN number, and at the end we just need to provide some body for it. Like, for example, we can just create some responses, and as follows. For example, response 200 will be something like the response that we got here. This one actually should be some explanation about the our response, for example, details of the book, and we should just save it. As you can see, we added ISBN endpoint and it's a GET request. So this is it, and we should go to the last part and make your API public, and we just need to check this one to make API public, and this is it. And we have our API now. We can view in the hub. It says that is created by me, and also it's loading the API playground. All the details that we entered are here. The last thing that we should do, and you can see the example response, and the last thing that we should do is the plans and pricing. For plans and pricing, we can edit the basic one. For changing the basic one, we can select the monthly plan, and for quota limit we can write 500, and if they go over that 500 per month request, we can charge them more, and for example $0.1 per extra. And this is it. We can save this one, go to Pro Plan. For Pro Plan, we can add basic price, for instance $10 or something reasonable. We need to add a object name, for instance all the data, some description, and save, and choose all the data. You can just change the monthly plan, the quota limit as we changed for the basic one, and you can save the plan. Of course you should just I'm gonna just leave that as unlimited. Here it is. We have our API set up, and we just need to market it. Marketing your API, you can use LinkedIn or Facebook and just tell people that you created an API and they can use it, or you can just leave it be and it will generate you passive income, because RapidAPI is a API marketplace, and if people search something they can find it here. And as you can see, our API is complete, and we just get this ISBN number, and we will generate a result based on that. This is it, and they can use any language they want for their project. For example, people can come and select PHP, and it will generate them the PHP code that is required to use your API, and you don't need to do anything anymore. It will just be completely automatic, and we just created our first API, so congrats. So this is it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and please smash the subscribe button, because I will be posting videos like this. And yeah, see you next time.